and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Friday, the 14th of August. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Latvia has downed a drone while Finland has limited Baltic Sea access, Ukraine is offering Russia a Black Sea truce, and Trump has ordered the Navy to go back to steam catapults on aircraft carriers. So firstly, Latvia has said it shot down a drone that violated its airspace on Friday, while Finland moved to restrict access to parts of the Baltic Sea. The incidents add to the run of airspace and maritime provocations across NATO's eastern flank, most linked to Russian activity or its shadow fleet. Baltic states have steadily hardened their posture as hybrid pressure on the region intensifies. So what? I think the drone is likely linked to either Russian probing of NATO airspace and Ukrainian attacks that tend to run down NATO's flank before going on to their targets. Yeah, I mean, either way, I don't think it was a direct attempted attack on a NATO territory. That seems highly unlikely at this point, though there is this underlying rumor that Russia is going to attempt to probe NATO sometime in the next few weeks, but we will see. Finland's maritime restrictions are likely aimed at protecting undersea cable and infrastructure from sabotage. You know, we've heard a lot about this, Russia's shadow fleet and other associated shipping vessels dragging their anchors in order to damage cabling and pipes under the sea. Yeah, just part of, trying to disrupt and sow chaos within the NATO states. And I think further Baltic airspace and seabed incidents are highly likely over the coming months. This doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. If anything, I think it may increase in the coming weeks and months. And next, Ukraine has offered Russia a truce in the Black Sea, according to a source that Reuters cited, as fears mount over global food supply. The proposal centres on protecting grain corridors and merchant shipping that feed export markets across Africa and the Middle East. Any pause would ease pressure on prices, but leave the wider war unresolved. So what? I think a limited Black Sea truce here is a realistic possibility, given they both have a shared interest in restoring grain exports. Ukraine has made it clear that if Russia will not allow Ukraine to sell its grain on the open market, then, Ukraine is going to do the same in a reciprocal manner. So yeah, it seems possible that this may happen. Awkwardly, Russia is trying to sell Ukrainian grain through the Black Sea as well. So it's a bit of another sticking point. I think Moscow is unlikely to accept any terms that meaningfully constrain its broader military operations, though on the Black Sea, this is currently pretty limited, just due to the effectiveness of the Ukrainian sea and air drone campaign against maritime targets. I think a renewed disruption to grain corridors would likely push food prices even higher for import-dependent states. This is particularly, an issue for the Middle East and Africa, who, don't really make too much grain themselves. And lastly, President Trump has ordered the US Navy to tear out electromagnetic jet launch systems on its carriers and return to steam catapults. The move targets the troubled EMALS technology fitted to the Ford-class carriers, which has faced repeated reliability and cost complaints. Reverting would mark a major reversal in US carrier design and procurement. So what? A full revision of the steam catapults is unlikely to be quick or cheap, given how deeply this system is now integrated into the Ford-class carriers. Interesting. I don't really, kind of see what is trying to be done here. Maybe they keep breaking and it's hampering, military action within the Middle East against Iran, and this is why they want to revert to a simpler and, historic design. The order almost certainly reflects long-standing frustration with carrier reliability and readiness. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Aircraft carriers are a key component in the US campaign, especially in the Middle East, acting as just movable air bases. So yeah, the decision is likely to trigger pushback from the Navy and defense contractors. A lot of that will come down to money. I think defense contractors won't want to go back, but also, if we're going to pull all the systems out and replace them with the old ones, that's going to take time. Do we have the time right now? Who knows? But anyway, that's been the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.